May the Force be with you.
We're not negotiating.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's been, I don't know what, 2 weeks since this finale happened, and we haven't got to talk about it because we just haven't had, we've had scheduling issues, but here we are, Roy and myself, to give you our thoughts on Rebels Season 5, Ahsoka Season 1. A lot of things happened and nothing happened at the same time. You guys have heard me talk about this show in, like, with the last episode we did, I was really extensive on how I felt about it. And I had a feeling that we would come back and do the finale and Roy would be like, it was just fine. So I'm very, very curious to hear Roy's thoughts. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to give you the floor. Budget.
Yeah, it was just fine. It was kind of fun. Like, the funny thing about Ahsoka as a show was, I think, as a setup for the Mandoverse movie, it felt pretty solid. Like, it gave like Thrawn like a decent setup for like what he's going to be doing in the universe, right? It put the Dathmari, however you say it, like sisters as one of his allies. He has like a zombie army. Like, you don't necessarily like need any of the like where he got it from information, but like if you've been following Thrawn since Rebels, I think it did a decent job of like explaining like how he got back. Like, you don't have to necessarily be satisfied with like the mechanics of how he came back, but I think it provided like an answer that is faithful to the Rebels material. Mo can, of course, as the real Rebels fan here, like disagree with that, but and then it brings Ezra back. I think as a show experience, it did a weird thing of like creating its own problems and justifying the existence of a Ahsoka show. So it felt in many ways like both a setup for the movie, but also buying time, because there's now like a reason for a second season for Ahsoka to exist in a way that there wasn't before, right? Like, Ahsoka didn't need to, like, for her to participate in the Mando movie, there didn't need to be like an Ahsoka show because she was already like active in the Mandoverse. But now there's a reason, the show created a reason for a second season, which is, okay, how does Sabine and Ahsoka get back to the Prime Galaxy to participate in the movie? Because Ahsoka is the second most famous character that is capable of participating in the Mandalorian movie, and the only Jedi character capable of participating in the Mando movie, since they won't recast Luke or Leia.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a weird show. Like, it's a show that both I think did fundamentally succeed in its goal of like being one of two prompts for the Mando movie, which, there's going to be this, probably Mando season 4, and then a second season of Ahsoka before we get the movie. And I felt like, yeah, Thrawn back is a perfectly fine outcome for this. And something like, once they said that like Heir to the Empire is going to be like one of the things the Ahsoka show is doing, I was whelmed by its interpretation of like what that means. So almost trying to find a good background here.
I got one.
All right, what you got for me as the resident Rebels fan person? What do you think, Mo?
I did not like the finale.
Okay.
And it's not because it was a fine, like as you said, it was a fine finale. It just was that. And I don't know why I fall into this thing where I'm like, okay, maybe they're gonna surprise me. You understand? Because I
Mm-hmm.
did it I've done it now for every show that we've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like maybe they're gonna surprise me, and then I come here saying like, ugh, they didn't. I promise you, the next show, Loki, I'm gonna be like, maybe. I feel like Loki's gonna land it because it did land it in season 1. You just have you have nowhere to go but
no,
up.
it definitely land. I think that and WandaVision, excluding the finale, really.
Yeah, WandaVision hits, and then that one part of the finale is just like, why? Like, you could have gone the entire show without having that part in the finale, right? Exist. So my thing with Ahsoka is I didn't like it, I didn't like the finale. I didn't hate it though. It was just okay. It happened, and Thrawn is back, and you would think that there are also no consequences. So maybe you're right. It justifies Ahsoka having a second season, because for all we know, Disney shows outside of Loki and Mando have, it's just been a mini series.
And Bad Batch, right? Didn't that get a second season?
I mean, I'm talking about live action shows.
Oh, live action, yeah. Of the live action, like big ticket shows. Andor, which was renewed for they announced 2 seasons.
Right. They announced, so technically Andor it's still a mini series, right? Because they only announced the 2. Ahsoka, we just heard the 1, and now it's like there might be a second season. Mando was meant to be serialized, and I feel like Mando works because it was meant to be serialized. So this show felt like, if you do a second season, will you be able to answer all the questions that you have? Because you have a lot of questions and a lot of holes from season 1, especially with the fact that Ahsoka just happens to be at peace with the fact that she's, stranded. It's just like, oh, okay, we're here. Sabine doesn't care.
She succeeded in the goal of sending Ezra home. So,
right. But then flip that. On the flip side, Ahsoka's whole entire mission was to make sure Thrawn didn't get back. But it's like, oh, he got back, but at least Ezra got back, so Ezra can warn the people.
Republic. Yeah.
And it's like, but your whole the entirety of Ahsoka's existence since Rebels was to make sure Thrawn never that's the whole thing. And now she's just like, okay. And so I have a problem with that. And then the zombie thing, if it sells merch, then it sells merch, and it's fine. Ahsoka needed a baby Yoda to happen. Like, they got it. They have Yodas on the show. They have the turtle people. They have the cat from
the cat was the most successful, I think.
Right. And maybe they have zombies they could put in Fortnite. They can have the zombies appear.
Yeah. I mean, also video games.
Yeah, there's branding and video games reason for that.
I think also it's a way, I think, to make the movie stand apart, right? There's zombie stormtroopers now, right?
Right. It does stand out, but you have laser swords. Come on.
Well, I mean, the laser swords, yeah, no, I get you, but there's only of the laser swords that are left, there's only 1, 2, I guess. Luke is, I guess 3, but again, of ones that we're actually going to see in the movie, only 1 laser sword starts off in the movie, right? I think what had to happen, was they needed to end the show. I think thematically it's supposed to I think the theme is acceptance, that Ahsoka needs to accept. Yeah, I'm just telling you, accept.
I'm listening.
Where I think what the show, what Filoni, when he was sitting there and thinking what's the theme for my character, but Ahsoka is his character, right?
It didn't feel like his character. It didn't feel like Ahsoka from not Rebels, from
Clone Wars and Rebels. I mean, she was in Rebels a bunch, right? So
not a bunch. She was in Rebels some, but it doesn't feel like the only time Ahsoka felt like Ahsoka from anything
was the 3rd episode or 4th episode or whatever.
The one episode,
the Anakin one.
Yes, and we sat here for eight episodes, and there's if you look at the internet and you look at what the internet is talking about, the internet really only cares about that one episode, if we're being very honest. And that's
Hayden at the end, where he's actually a Force ghost. Not it's
Right.
like converted. It's committed. It's like he was
Good at
Obi-Waning.
it. Right.
Well, he was Obi-Waning, right? That was what he's
Right.
been doing this whole time,
Right.
right? Like,
Thanks. Yeah. So
yeah.
so it's a shame to me that this is Dave's girl, and this is how, again, if Dave was setting this show up one season, and then now he's like, oh look, we have all these things we need to answer, Disney, so give me money to shoot a second season so I could, build a better, story for the movie that's coming up. Then then he succeeded with that, if that's what he was trying to do.
Well, I think he was trying to have his cake and eat it too, which is that a second season of Ahsoka is set up to deal with shit that nobody but Rebels fans cares about. Like Thrawn coming back and being a threat to the galaxy
was nothing. It was only Rebels season 5.
Like it was, but like Thrawn as a threat can make sense to somebody who only knows
Thrawn from Rebels.
But even doesn't know Thrawn from Rebels, right? He's like, you can be like, he's this Imperial Grand Admiral who was exiled and he's come back to fuck up the Republic. And the only people who can stop him are Mando and Ahsoka, right? And like, I think your median Star Wars person who might go see a movie can like understand that, right? Like, it's not that complicated. Like, Thrawn's not a complicated character, right? He's like a blue Imperial, like, who's smart. Like, okay. And all the shit with the father and the daughter and all that like Mortis shit that is like kind of set up in the final, like no one cares about that except Dave Filoni and like hardcore Rebels fans. And that's what the second season of Ahsoka is set up to do. I mean, R.I.P. Rey, like, we don't get to see like what the initial plan was with like Rey now.
Do you recast him? Because I think that's a part I was going to get to.
I mean, I don't think they will. That seems to be like Disney's.
But then there's a whole story if you don't, that you leave untold.
I mean, unless they just give it to Blondie. They're just like, okay, Blondie knew what he wanted and Blondie's going to do it. People did respond really well to Blondie, by the way.
Of course they did. So, I don't want to state the obvious.
I mean, she's a white.
Exactly. I didn't want to say that.
No, I'll say it. She's a white, like, kind of bad Jedi girl who, look, I could fix her.
Her character is literally the same character from the girl from Obi-Wan. And it just, they're
both she's a little bit different because there's not the Inquisitor back.
Well, yeah, and she didn't get stabbed by young
Anakin.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. Like, they're the same trope.
Yeah, basic tropes, right? They're both angry. They're both looking for something to whatever. But
I thought Moses was stronger than
Moses carried a lot of that show for me. Shin did nothing except look emo.
I mean, look, there's a sizable portion of online male fandom that's all they need. Like,
she looked like an e-girl.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, look, I can fix her as a trope for like action heroines is like anime lives and dies by its ability to do that. So I'm not surprised that Shin must break out character, but she is the other one. And I think what Filoni did, it's in some ways kind of smart on a meta level, which is he just like kind of cut off this corner of the Star Wars universe and he can now do more with it without impacting the rest of Disney's like plan, whether that's a Mando plan or a movie plan. And I mean, Ahsoka seemed to have done pretty well, I think. Like,
look,
I think well enough that they'll do another season.
This is what I said last time what we did episode 7. I said if your competition Star Wars wise is what was it? Obi-Wan season 3 of Mando. Obi-Wan
still the #1 premiere for 2023 of Disney Plus.
Right, but like if that's your competition, you don't have to do too much. Fan service, you nailed that with Anakin. You nailed that with the Kanan took one of the actuators and I left the other one for you. I mean that was
a sweet moment. I thought that was
yes. And you do the whole thing with so that's 2 fan service moments. Was there another one? The cat was a fan service moment for Rebels fans. And then just having Ezra, period. Like just having Ezra is fan service because I'll be honest with you, you could have gone this whole entire show and just saved Ezra for the end of it.
They didn't. I mean, well, because the goal, I think fundamentally, you cannot get away from the finale and not feel like it was set up for the next step of the Star Wars. Like
it was. It,
like
this show was a long form commercial.
It was a long form commercial
with it.
It was also like
the ad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I mean some of the Disney Plus stuff, including Marvel, has felt like tests.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like with like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel felt like making sure that we made the right decision casting this actress as Miss Marvel, which they clearly did, because people, like, whether they love Miss Marvel the show, I think people reacted really well.
Yeah, connect with her.
Yeah, and connected with her, right? Elon, like, they're like, okay, cool. And like Falcon the Winter Soldier was kind of like, can we put Sam in the suit? And people respond really well to it. And I think overall, like, people did respond well to Sam in the suit. Like the show, like, you know what I mean? And like we have this new direction for Wanda.
And it's gonna do what it did in the comics, because you're gonna have the it's gonna, like, Marvel was good. I think Falcon Winter Soldier might be the better of all the tests, because whichever way it falls, right?
Yeah,
it's going to show you. I think it's gonna be a success. I think Cap 4 is gonna be a success, whether it makes $1 billion or not. I think it's going to be a success.
I don't think superhero movies are going to make $1 billion.
Oh no, not anymore. Because
until Avengers,
and next big, like,
if event. But I also
X-Men would. X-Men would. No,
we'll see how I think Deadpool is the next big test. Like, if Deadpool makes Deadpool 2 money or more than Deadpool 2 money, then I'm so ready for Deadpool to come and be over. Like, it's not. I mean, like. I actually am upset about when the Marvels comes out, because I can't go see it on opening day because I have to take a bunch of teenagers to Charlottesville for a Model UN conference. But
if I can get you screeners, I will try.
I was like, literally, this might be the first thing that, like, I would beg Mo to get me a screener to, because I mean, I might just buy tickets to the movie and not go see it. Like that, like that's the point of level. Like, I hope it succeeds. I'll just literally like $40.
It is. I will pay to see that one as well, because it was directed by a Black woman. So
and like, I love the cast too. Like,
yes, the cast is where it's at.
I want that movie to succeed. I think since the last Marvel movies I really wanted to succeed are Black Panther 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy. And
I'm so happy for Guardians. I was so happy. I was scared and happy, but I'm happy that it did what it did. Black Panther 2 was okay. You know, it was gonna survive regardless. I think it was gonna survive. But
who knows these days, man? Like,
was scary because Ant-Man happened. There was Ant-Man Shazam happened. Was it?
And now we've got, like, Blue Beetle made $15. Like who knows what's gonna happen with Ant-Man 2? Like, Warner Brothers seems to be setting it up for failure with these, like, leaks.
Aquaman is going to be interesting, though. I don't think it's going to do what Aquaman 1 did. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be successful.
Is it?
Like a maybe high 7s.
I mean, hopefully.
But yeah, hopefully. But, like, you know, I don't know. I'm very nervous for it, because
it's going to be very, I mean.
Because we finally get the Black Manta suit, right? The comic one. And then we finally get the Black Manta fight with. This is like a Black Manta movie.
You mean what should have happened in the first movie?
In the first one, right? And then we might, hopefully, fingers crossed, get like the arm moment from the Justice League animation cartoon, but he has to.
Oh my god, he's gonna have a
the hook.
Oh my god, the hook.
Or Aqua Baby might die, and
Aqua Mama is gonna die. I don't think Aqua Baby.
She gotta go. Obviously, that's the way to get her out of here. You know,
but anyway, watch her be in the movie for 10 minutes and die. She's gonna get fridged so hard. Like, she's gonna get fridged in the level of, like, Kyle Rayner's girlfriend that like appeared in 2 panels. Like, that gave you, like, that's where the term fridge came from.
The fridge.
Like I honestly think she's gonna die. Like, she is that level of, like, misogynist, like, we don't like this actress, let's get rid of her.
I'm so sad for her, though, because, like, she's a victim. Granted, not the main.
I'm gonna I have very strong Johnny Depp.
Yeah, let's
Amber Heard opinions. I'm gonna say, like, fuck Johnny Depp, and get us canceled that way from, like, to the comments here because
honestly, fuck both of them.
I mean, they're both. I mean, but
they're both dickheads. But she's not like
abused people don't have a moral responsibility to act appropriately. So that's my answer to that. We should move on before.
Yeah, you know what? Let's move because yeah. So back to
this. I want to say a thing about this finale. It did look expensive. Like there's some scenes where I was like, they spent money on this finale.
All the money was spent here, obviously.
Well, here
that's why a lot of nothing. Yeah, that's why nothing happens.
David Tennant money. Let's not forget that David Tennant was paid to voice act in this.
Wait, was this the one? No, C-3PO happened last episode, correct? And
yeah, but Anthony Daniels is. I bet his day rate is a lot lower than David Tennant's.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Because I think he's just Star Wars, right?
I don't know. He might have done some other things, but
but his most notable is Star Wars. So yeah, he and David Tennant are not collecting the same check.
No, both playing robots in this, but they're not collecting the same.
Right, they're not collecting the same check. Honestly. The reason and it goes to show you here the reason why I wasn't like pressing like, oh, let's do the finales, because like if we never did it, honestly, I'd be okay, because if they happen to announce a season 2, then we'd probably come back and talk about this finale and then expectations for season 2. That way, like the day they announce it, I'm like, hey, Ro, do you want to do the finale now and then talk about expectations for season 2? That would have been.
It's gonna be all Mortis stuff, man. It's gonna be all Mortis stuff. That's season 2.
But I R.I.P. Ray. I just feel like you can't leave that character out in space. There's so much story with his character, and I still think he and Shin have, because I think Shin will fall through the cracks without his character there. Like she was very, in my opinion, boring without him.
I mean,
I forgot she was on the show.
I mean, because she did disappear for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, and after getting her ass kicked by Ezra and Sabine.
Sabine, yeah.
So I guess but back to the point we were talking about, if this is kind of like is the casting going to work out? So I think winners in this are, I think, Hera. I think having Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera, I think, will be good in the movie. I mean, but I think she did well with the role. Like, yes, she was hot as hell, but like that's just like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like,
it's just her. That's not her fault. Like,
she's just an attractive woman,
right?
Right. All right. I think Ezra casting was strong.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then so what do you think about Thrawn getting? So do you think getting the voice actor to just be Thrawn worked?
I don't know.
Oh.
I actually honestly do not know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that's the one part that I really wanted the show, like for me, like I was like, this has to work. Thrawn's casting has to work. You know, they're bringing back the voice actor. The voice was immaculate, but then the
voice was good.
Yeah, it just didn't, for some reason, it didn't match. For me, I mean,
he's a blue person, right? I think like Thrawn is the kind of character that I think works better on the page and in animation than in real life.
Yes,
because he's basically a Bond villain painted blue.
1,000%. And it's when he speaks, like
yeah, and
everything is so cheeky with him, tongue in cheek. Like
I don't know if it's even cheesy, but the fact that he's blue makes it 500 times cheesier. Right?
Yeah.
Like in live action,
he's like, okay, so send 2 troopers out, just 2. Are you sure? Just 2? Just 2. And in the middle of the fight, we're gonna run back. Why are we running back? Because all we did was distract them, and they didn't know we're leaving. Like it's just so like, this is not Thrawn that I knew from Rebels. Like,
I mean, he got what he wanted.
I know.
So
I know
he worked out. I mean, like, I don't know. Thrawn, to me, has always been a villain that is better in small doses. This goes back to like the books, which I read when I was like 7, 8. Like, and then he's just like I don't know. Thrawn, like fascism without the racism was kind of Thrawn's thing in the original Star Wars canon. Because what I think people don't forget is that like in the original Star Wars canon, like Emperor Palpatine's empire was like Nazi Germany racist, like hated aliens. Like that was like a thing that that Disney was like, whoa, we want to sell Imperial merch.
Stay far away from this, please.
It's like let's say like, and Thrawn was
I
like
some people who dress like stormtroopers.
Like I'm like like I've said this in many times. We'll talk about this show. Like people miss they embrace that the fascism stuff in Star Wars, the visual storytelling is one of the worst things about Star Wars.
Honestly,
no offense to the honestly good charitable stuff that the 501st does, whatever. But like, why didn't you dress up as rebel troopers? Like, why didn't you dress up as Jedi? Okay, like whatever. Like, but stormtroopers, bro, come on. Man.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But like I don't know. Like I am fine with Thrawn. Like I think they did about as good a job of Thrawn as you can with a blue.
Yeah, see, and I think that's what the thing is. I wanted to be blown away by it, but I'm just like, I don't know. I guess maybe when we get the next thing, right? Because
when we get movie level makeup with him,
that's what it is. So you think they fridge him for season 2 because he's not gonna really have to do much for a second season?
Well, he's not gonna be in the second season of Ahsoka.
Okay, then that's
I think he might show up at the end of Mando season 4.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Because I think what we get, this is the definitely 100% correct Roy Rogers prediction for the future of Star Wars in the like current continuity Star Wars, is we get a Mando season 4 that ends setting up Mando whatever he's going to do in the movie. Then we get a second season of Ahsoka that has nothing to do with sorry, Mo has like wasted away Tom Brady as his thing here. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I love that. It's never going anywhere.
It's just amazing. I can't help but laugh because I'm a bad person. And then the second season of Ahsoka is all about Ahsoka getting back to the galaxy, far, far away, out of the galaxy, far, far away from the galaxy, far, far away.
Right. Just
so
all fars.
Yeah, all fars. Like I think that Thrawn, they're gonna save the best Thrawn stuff for the movie, because in the movie, like if the movie, like Mando will like encounter the revived Imperial remnant, which makes sense because Mando's done that like every season. So, yeah.
Okay. So what did you think about the final fight? The mother, what's her name?
Whatever her name is. I thought that it was it showed that the actress who played the evil Death Mary woman was a way better like physical fighter than Rosario Dawson, and then proved that sword looks so stupid. I'm sorry, the sword looks so stupid. She was given one of the dumbest looking Star Wars props to do some of the best Star Wars fighting in the show, and then Rosario Dawson was given cool looking lightsabers for some of the worst physical Star Wars fighting. Like I said this, I was literally watching it with my friends, and I was like, they really need to send Rosario Dawson to like a training camp. Like if she's going to be in a movie.
She just looks so awkward and so slow, and it's just not great looking. And then the zombies, and she's spinning her lightsabers. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
I mean, I will give them credit. It was cool to have like 3 Jedis kind of being like prequel style, like unstoppable, like killing machines. They're just like mowing people down, like in a way that like I kind of like. Like I always like these like Jedi are like they're like a force, an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object kind of thing, where like when the Jedi get going, like you really can't stop them, kind of thing. That the prequels I think did a good job of, where everyone was like, the goal with Jedi is to just like stay as far away from them as possible, because once those lightsabers come out, there's only so much you can do to stop them. Right. And I think they did a good job of like that. And Thrawn is acknowledgement of like, oh yeah, like when this is what dealing with Jedi is like, I thought was very cool. And I think that rating them, I would give like Ahsoka a D in fighting ability, and like visual, the ability to convey it visually, I would give Sabine and Ezra like a C, and then the actress who played the Thrawn woman an A, Dathmiri or whatever. Luminate.
Dothraki.
Whatever.
Wrong universe.
Like,
But
yeah.
no, honestly, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the fight could have been, if she matched her energy, I think it would have been so much better visually. But I wasn't with it.
And the sword looks so stupid. I'm sorry. I literally turned to my friend. I was like, that sword looks dumb.
But
like, why is it a katana? Like,
they're gonna sell it. The entire show is trying to tell you that the Jedi are samurai. Like, the entire show, like Ahsoka's stance.
Yeah, well, and the two. Why does she have two lightsabers? One's shorter than the other.
She's always had two. Well,
I know, but
I think she stole one from It was how do you say?
I know her dual wielding is like an Ahsoka thing. I'm talking about how she has the like how samurai have like one long katana and
shorter
one short knife. Like, why does she have that? Like, come on.
It's always been from not Rebels, Clone Wars.
Oh, I understand where it's from, though. Yeah, it's
Dave. It's your boy. It's your boy. It's Dave. You gotta ask him at this point.
Oh, because he loves the samurai aesthetic. Like, he's like budget George Lucas, right? But like, George knew when to lean into the fact he was plagiarizing Japanese movies and when to lean away. Like,
Dave is just full on. This is Seven Samurais every time. Like, it's just the entire show. I was like, wait a minute, are we like in feudal Japan or something? Like,
like, I mean, they're at his best, Filoni is kind of like George Lucas, but written by Chat GPT. Like, yeah, like that's kind of Dave Filoni's thing. So,
but yeah, hopefully something happens if they do a second season. I don't feel this way about it. I ultimately don't feel good about this show, and I understand what it was built for, and I hope it pays off. That's all I want to. That's my final thoughts on it. Is I hope it pays off. Again, I go back to saying Andor, the show benefits greatly from the fact that its payoff has already happened, and we're just working backwards, right? Or forward, backwards? No, we're working forward to the payoff, right? For Andor.
I mean, we are. I mean, but I think for me, Andor has the strength of it. Both has something to say about Star Wars, but also has something to say in general.
Right. It does. Yeah, it does have something to say in general. Yeah.
Like, and it uses Star Wars well to say this thing that it has to say. But it's also like not just like it, but also like legitimately just as Star Wars fiction works. But I think it works as like fiction.
Yeah, the entire FTP plot of Andor is maybe the best subplot ever.
Oh yeah, like Andor says ACAB is like one of the best.
It's such an amazing subplot that I still don't understand how people love the show without it's in your face. And the kind of people that love the show are also the people that back the blue. So I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like I also don't get it. It's like, how can you not watch Ahsoka and not be like, oh right, not Ahsoka, excuse me, Andor, and be like, oh wait, yes, these systems are all super like literal, and like people loved that speech that what's his face gave, and it's just like, what do you like? Media literacy is at a whole time.
You understand what he's talking about? Like the freedom one in prison, right?
No, I'm talking about the one that he gives to the spy about how he's not going to live to see.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to use my enemies. It's just like, okay.
It's like, right. But so your thoughts final on Ahsoka?
I give the show a C-. Like,
I'm sorry. I just wasn't expecting it was casual C-.
It is what it is, man. Like, I liked some moments of it. The music was banger. Like, the new music was banger. I don't think the composer was very good at like redoing Star Wars motifs. Like, I think in the finale, like they were like trying to do like new stuff, like remixing George Lucas, which all of them tried to do. And I think that this composer was like kind of weaker at it. But like the original compositions, like the Ahsoka theme is like a banger. Like, not quite as good as Mando, but like almost as good as the Mando theme. So that's my kind of last spot.
Well, Ahsoka happened. That's the last Star Wars show for the year, right? And then we get
it's the last Star Wars show currently Done. Oh no, we get Acolyte.
Is Acolyte this year or next year? I thought Acolyte
next year.
Yeah, so it's the last Star Wars show for the year.
I always forget about Acolyte.
It's easy to forget that show because that's going to be one that I think that's going to be an interesting one to talk about. I don't think it's going to be an interesting one to watch. I think it's going to be an interesting one to talk. We're going to have fun discussing that one.
Oh yeah, you're gonna watch me slowly melt into my chair every episode.
I think that's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
but, it's gonna be hilarious. I'm just gonna not say anything while you go on the show. Ultimately, thank you, Roy. We will be back to Loki, sometime today, if not maybe
tomorrow, Monday. Like I'm free,
okay.
So
okay, then probably Monday. If not tomorrow, definitely Monday. But no, thank you, Roy. This was fun. I think this is what makes the show.
Oh, I agree, man. Like,
because if I had to watch that show without talking about it with you, I probably wouldn't have watched it. I'm being very honest. Like, it took me so long to watch every episode, but I'm like, you know what? I get to talk about it with Roy, so let's go.
I feel the same way, Mo. I feel that with all the shows that we cover. So
right. No, you
except
don't.
Loki, which I
was about to say you genuinely liked Loki. I think you wanted to really like what's his name show?
Secret Invasion. Oh, I like when it comes to the Marvel shows, I always start off wanting to like them. Like, always. Which is why at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, it's another Marvel show I watched. Right. Like,
Secret Invasion is just
Secret Invasion was bad.
I think Secret Invasion might be Ahsoka, but better because it's setting up something, right? It's setting up.
I mean, it gave you the origin of Sam Jackson's wife, who will be in this movie for 5 minutes, if that. Oh, that's like one scene. So, although who knows? We don't know anything.
Right,
really
we don't know yet.
Marvel.
We don't know yet. Right. So,
I mean, Sam Jackson's on the poster, so like he's got to do something in that movie.
I mean, he's in like 2 trailers, both trailers. He's in both of them. So, but yeah. So thank you. We'll be back again to do. So we're gonna see each other again pretty soon. Yeah. We gotta do Loki, and then at some point we're going to come back to do a movie, right?
Marvels. Plus, I have to watch. I gotta wait for my wife to get back before we can watch the finale of Wheel of Time. But we also
yeah. I'm still going through that. I'm actually generally pleased with season 2. Season 2 for me is easier to watch this season.
Oh yeah, season 2 is so much. I mean, TLDR. Just give our loyal viewers a hint. Season 2 of Wheel of Time is way better than season 1.
It's just so much better. Hopefully, when we get Ring of Power, season 2 will be
whatever. Like, I will also say for me, Boss Legacy season 2 comes out on Friday.
Right. I actually had screeners to go see that, but I don't think you're gonna want to go screen a show that you're gonna watch on.
Oh, I'll watch it. They'll watch it again, man. I watched the whole show. I watched the whole. I rewatched Bosch.
Let me see if I can get them for you.
This whole summer, like in preparation. You know what? Maybe tonight after I finish my work, I'll start up on Bosch Legacy season 1. But I watched the whole original show this summer. So.
The original show is so good. It's so good.
I mean, the Legacy season was a little intense. It's intense.
It's decent.
Like, it's not like I think that the Bosch storyline was good. I think Maddie. Story engaged in kind of things that the show mostly like
stayed away from. Like, and then it ended on a note. It's like we avoided this specific storyline with Maddie through the whole original show. And do we need it on the spinoff show? We're doing Taken. We're doing
Taken. It's like do we? It's like I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, like, look, literally, like this is gonna be my Friday. Bosch, Spidey. Like it's gonna be Bosch, Spidey, like back into each other.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we're gonna do we have to do an episode about the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, we do. At least up to where we've both played up to. I don't know if you're gonna like go through the entire thing on Friday.
I'll go through the story stuff in like a week.
Right. I just want to go through the story and then I always do the side stuff later anyway. So
yeah,
I like going through the story, like just going through. I mean, is it Spider-Man or was it Cyberpunk that you had to do story and then they would come back and have you do a side mission?
Spider-Man basically was like you get like 3 hours of story content, then they're like do like you didn't have to do like a side mission. You could just do stop a crime, and then they would be like time to start.
Yeah, and then back to story.
And some of the side stories in Spider-Man were really
good. The DLCs were super good.
Yeah,
With,
and the Miles game was really good. Like Spider-Man,
I'm excited.
The Insomnia Spider-Man games are the best Spider-Man story, I think. Like that's been made outside of comics.
You can't say that.
Like, what, you saying that the original like game? Like, I'm talking about outside the comics. You think it's better? What Spider-Man movie is better than that?
Into
No Way Home?
Into
the Spider-Verse. That's true. I was more thinking about Peter.
Okay, Peter. No.
Yeah, as a Miles story. I mean,
Miles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse.
But Miles doesn't get a story in this game. In the games, he gets a DLC.
Extended DLC, bro. Extended DLC. Hey, look. He's apparently we know he's gonna save Peter's ass in this game. That's just supposition, right? But that's gonna basically be the storyline, right? Like, come on.
He has to beat Peter's ass at some point.
Right? Oh yeah. There's two tropes that they could do. Peter gets beaten by Miles and Miles saves him, or Peter beats up Miles and is about to kill him, and that's what causes him to pull back.
Oh, wow.
Those are the two tropes. Like, these are, again, this is me just guessing based on trailers, because like it's symbiote Peter, so you know he's gonna go out of control.
He's gonna go out of control.
Like,
he's gonna go out of control. All right, man. I can't wait.
Right.
I can't
wait.
We have
lots of stuff, man. Lots of stuff.
We have an interesting week coming up. So yeah, we'll stop here, and then if I watch Loki,
I gotta get back to work. So
yeah, if I watch Loki today, I'll get back with you, and we'll do that. And then if not, I'll see you Monday.
See you Monday. Bye, folks.
Wait, how do I end the show? Yeah.